Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Fall is upon us. The apples, the local Ontario apples are starting to come in. So I thought we'd do today an apple cake, an apple coffee cake type deal. Now there's a lot of ingredients on the countertop, but don't get freaked out because it's very, very simple. At its heart, it's just a very basic cake with sort of a streusel-y thing going on. So in this pot, I'm going to take this butter and melt it. And while that's melting, I'm going to move over here to the stand mixer. And just like every other cake, we're going to start out by creaming together some butter and some sugar. Okay, the butter has melted, so I'm going to turn off the heat. And to that, I'm going to add brown sugar, flour, and salt and cinnamon. And then just stir that together to combine it into, it's just gonna look like a wet crumb. Looks good, and I can just leave that here for now. Also looks like the butter and sugar has creamed together nicely. So 2 eggs, one at a time. Just let one get mixed in before you put in the second. And even though this beater has a rubber edge, it's always a good idea to go in with a rubber spatula every once in a while and just kind of scrape down the sides, get all the spots that the beater doesn't really get. So I'm going to do that before I add the second egg. And in with the second egg. While that's beating in, I'm going to deal with the dry ingredients. So in this bowl, I have some flour. To that, I'm going to add salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And I'll just give that a bit of a stir to mix them together a little bit. Okay, now a little bit of vanilla extract. And just a touch of lemon juice. Now we were shooting cocktails in the studio yesterday, so I have some freshly squozen lemon juice left over. And I just want about a tablespoon. The lemon juice just helps to brighten the whole thing up. I've started using it more and more in cakes, adding a little bit of extra acid, and it just makes it taste bright. I don't know what that's about. At this point, I'm going to go back and forth between flour and sour cream. A little bit of flour, a little bit of sour cream, adding them back and forth and back and forth. So, in with the flour first. And then some sour cream. And then some flour. Here I have a springform cake tin, and I'm going to put maybe just a little bit more than half, about half. It's not critical how much you put, but you know, kind of half into the bottom. I know that there's a lot of people who would get it a scale and weigh it to be exact. And then I'm just going to spread that all across the bottom, get a nice even layer. Now I'm going to put about half of the apple, spread it on top. And then half of the crumble. And then just repeat the process. Another layer of cake batter topped with more apples and crumble. And I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to stick this in and give it a bake. Okay. Look at that. Okay, that looks That looks pretty good.
That looks delicious. Hey, friends. Hey, Glenn.
Forks.
Glenn's bringing forks. I am ready.
Okay. Fall apple cake with streusely coffee cakey type
I'm
stuff.
already in. Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. It's a classic style cake and it is fabulous. I'm going in for another one.
The apples keep it nice and moist. The spice flavor is really good. You could play with the spice flavor a little bit because there's only cinnamon in it. So you could add some of the other sort of warming fall type spices. Other things that you find in apple pie too.
Yep, and I suspect you could also make it with pears
Oh,
or almost all sorts of fruits. You throw in some cranberries.
pears would be great. Pears would be great. Yeah. Okay. I think this cake is really good. Don't be freaked out by how many ingredients you saw on the countertop at the beginning. It still is a very simple cake to put together. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.